guys, welcome back. In case you haven't met her before, this is Dusty. Hi, babe. We are going to be doing a vinyasa flow today. In my classes that I normally have in the studio on Wednesdays, we often do core strength Wednesday. So this is going to be a little bit more of a core focused class. Yeah, so just kind of do what you can do. Props for this, you may want a block if you have one. If not, don't worry about it. And we are probably going to be doing some Gomukhasana arms. So if you want a strap, you can use a scarf or a belt or anything you have handy, or you can skip it. These are home practices. Nobody's watching, so yeah, just we're all making do right now, right? You gonna do yoga? All right. So today we're going to go ahead and get started laying on our backs. So just go ahead and come down into whatever comfortable position you can find. So the knees can be bent, the legs can be extended, arms down by our side, and just close the eyes. And we'll take a couple of deep breaths here, allowing things to soften. And doing your best to breathe into the belly. So a deep diaphragmatic breath. So if you're not sure that's what you're doing, take your hands to your belly and take a nice deep breath in and see if you can feel the hands lift up. So do a couple of these. Inhale, deep into the belly, inflating that area like a balloon. And then as we exhale, letting it relax. We take these deep diaphragmatic breaths because they help signal to our body that it's time to relax, that we're in a safe place, that it's okay to be calm, we can relax, we're not on guard. So anytime that you feel stressed or worked up, you can just take a couple of deep breaths. And people say that when you're upset because it actually does help. So let's just go ahead and take a couple more. Letting the face relax and the shoulders. And then deciding today how you would like to show up on your mat. I've been reading this book called Perfectly Imperfect by Baron Baptiste, and he says that you have two options. You can show up as a yes, or you can show up as a no. And if you show up as a yes, it means you're present, you're open, you're curious, willing to learn. And if we show up as a no, that has a different energy. That's the energy of resistance, procrastination, frustration. So as we move through practice, you might find something that's challenging. And if you find yourself tipping towards that no energy, and see if we can reframe it as a yes. So on your next inhale, let's go ahead and take the arms, reach them up overhead. Nice big reach out through the fingertips, reach out through the toes. Maybe hold your breath up for just a beat. And then on your exhale, let everything relax to the mat. We're going to do this 2 more times. So you can breathe out through your mouth for these. So on your inhale, reach, extend, and exhale. All right, one more. Inhale, and exhale. All right, one more nice big breath in. And on your exhale, hug the knees into the chest. And so once we get here, you can rock a little bit side to side. You can make some circles with the knees. Anything that feels good, just maybe stretching out that low back. And then from here, we're going going to start a little bit of flowing with our breath. So on your inhale, we're going to take the arms and the legs long. So we're kind of got the scoop shape with the belly. Belly button draws down towards the spine, and the legs can be wherever they need to be so that you can kind of keep some integrity here. If you start to feel like the back is really arching here, just take the legs a little bit higher. And then on your exhale, hug the knees into the chest. So deep breath in, extend the arms and legs. And exhale, hug it in. So from here, just keep moving with your breath. We're going to start to take this into more of a flowing crow pose, reclining crow pose. So as you inhale, you'll extend the arms and legs, and then we're going to take the knees wide, keep the toes together, and then you're going to reach for your feet. So reaching up in the direction of your feet, it's okay if they don't get anywhere close, and we're reaching the knees up towards the shoulders. And then on your inhale, extend. And exhale. Inhale, extend. And exhale, bring it up. Let's do a couple more, just move with your breath. And last one, exhale, reach for the feet, knees up towards the shoulders. Make yourself as small as you can. And then go ahead and release. Just take a moment. And then from here, we're going to take this into, just take the legs up to the sky. You can point and flex the feet. Circle through the ankles. And then we're going to take the arms out to the side. So this is a little bit of a twist. And maybe a little bit of extra for the lower belly. So we're going to take the left leg straight down. And then the right leg is going to twist to the right. The arms are out to a T. And this foot doesn't have to come all the way down to the floor. It's just reaching in this direction. And then on our inhale, we're going to draw belly button to spine, bring both legs back up, lift up the hips if you have it. Just a little hip lift there. And then on your exhale, twist the other way. So the right leg goes straight down and the left leg goes over to the right. And we're going to see if we can do a couple of these with our breath. So on your inhale, come back to center, little hip lift. And then exhale, twist to the left. Inhale, center, lift up. And exhale the other. Let's do a couple more. Just moving with your breath. All right, one more each side. And then go ahead and come back to center. You can hug the knees into the chest. And then we're just going to place the feet flat. So that the feet are somewhat underneath the knees. And the heels and knees and hips are all in one line. So we're going to be moving into bridge pose here. And we want to make sure that we are engaging the back body here, as well as pressing down with the upper arms and the shoulders. So on your inhale, you'll lift the hips up, a little squeeze in those glutes. Keep the knees in line with the hips. Sometimes they like to spread out to the sides. So just think about grounding down through your feet. And on your exhale, release it. So we'll just move with our breath here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift. And exhale. Now you can keep doing the double leg bridge if that's working for you. If you want a little bit more of a challenge, on your next inhale, lift the hips. Lift the right leg. Try to keep those hips level. And then on your exhale, release, bring it down. Inhale, lift the hips. Take the other leg up. And then release, bring it down. So let's do a few more of those, just moving with your breath. Inhale is the lift up, and the exhale is the release back down. All right, so from here, if you're doing the double leg bridge, the next time that you finish with the left leg, bring it down. And if you're doing double leg bridge, just go ahead and release, come back. And then we'll hug the knees into the chest. So from here, we're going to kind of roll ourselves up into a ball. And we're going to start to rock back and forth along the spine. And from here, we're going to roll all the way up to the seat. And we're going to make our way into everyone's favorite boat pose. So we're going to sit up nice and tall. You're just going to lean back a little bit here. And if boat pose is a little bit new to you, you can keep your feet on the mat and just work on leaning back and keeping this core engaged and nice and strong. If you want a little bit more challenge, we're going to lift the feet up. Now the hands can be on the legs, or they can be behind you, or you can float the arms. All right, so from here, keeping that chest long, we're going to inhale and take the right leg out long. And then exhale, bring it back up. Now inhale the left leg, extend it out, and bring it back up. Now you can do this with the hands. We're going to do 2 more on each side. Inhale, right leg long. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, left leg long. Exhale, bring it up. 1 more each side. And then the next time you come back to boat, we're going to cross the right leg over the left and come to a seat. And from here, sitting up nice and tall, we're just going to take the right arm up. And exhale the left hand down. We're going to take a little side bend here. So a couple of deep breaths. Maybe gaze up at that hand if it feels good. Keep that right hip reaching down, just lengthening this right side of the body. All right, 1 more breath here. And then go ahead and come back up, and we're going to come back to our boat pose. So taking those feet up, lengthening through the spine, really engaging through the core. Once again, on your inhale, right leg extends. Exhale, bring it up. Inhale, left leg extends. Exhale, bring it up. 2 more each side. Inhale, extend. Exhale, bring it up. And 1 more this side. All right, last one each side. And then coming back to boat, pause, and then take the left leg and cross it over the right. Might feel a little weird if that's not your normal cross of your legs, but just trying to do something a little bit different. Kind of change things up. So we're going to take this left arm and reach it up. And on your exhale, take it over to the right. Little side bend. Couple of breaths, maybe gaze up at that hand or straight ahead, wherever it feels good. And then go ahead and come all the way back up. Nice big reach. And then place the hands down. And we're going to make our way into hands and knees. So coming into hands and knees. You can just do a few little hip circles here. So just circling through the hips, moving around however it feels good. You can move the neck, the shoulders, the spine. There's no real wrong way to move here. And then from here, just taking a couple cats and cows. Nice deep breath. Exhale, round the back. Inhale, lift the tail, let the belly drop, roll the shoulders back. And just do a couple more. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale into cat. All right, 2 more rounds with your breath. And then go ahead and just return to a neutral spine. We're going to engage through the core once again. So firming kind of all the way around, just so that everything is nice and stable. We're going to take the right leg out behind us. So coming into spinal balance, doing our best to keep the hips level, flex that foot, take the opposite arm out in front if that's available to you. So thumb rotates up towards the sky. You can draw the shoulder kind of back into the shoulder socket. And we're doing our best to engage the glutes, lift the leg, lift the arm, without arching the back too much here. So drawing the lower ribs towards the hip bones. All right, one more breath here. And then from here, we're going to take this left hand back down. We're going to tuck the left toes and see if we can come all the way up to a 3-legged dog. And then just take a moment here, lifting that right leg as high as you can, doing your best to keep the hips level just like they were in spinal balance. And then on our exhale, we'll take a core plank move. So we're going to shift forward on our exhale. Shoulders over the wrists. We're going to round the back, bring the knee in towards our nose. Inhale to get back up. On your exhale, this time see if you can take it outside the right elbow. So as we shift forward, take it towards the elbow or maybe up towards the shoulder. Inhale to get back up. This time on our exhale, we're going to take this leg across the body underneath us towards the left elbow. One more inhale up. And then on your exhale, you're going to take this foot up to your hands, come into a lunge. And this is the first lunge of class. If you want to drop the back knee, feel free. And from here, we're going to inhale, take the arms up. So nice lift here up through the arms, strong through the legs, lifting the front of the hips a little bit so we're not tipped forward here in the pelvis. And then from here, I'm going to drop the right arm, reach a little higher with the left. Getting maybe a little bit more side stretch, a little hip flexor. All right. From here on your inhale, take the arms up. And on your exhale, take the hands down to the mat. Back into our lunge. From here, on your inhale, you're going to take this to plank. So this right foot can go back, and it can stay lifted. If you want a little bit more challenge, you can drop it down. Other option is always to drop the knees. So from here in our plank pose, we're going to lower all the way down to the mat. So shifting forward, bending the elbows, lowering down with as much control as you can muster. Untuck the toes. And then on your inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the heart, low cobra. And then on your exhale, just press back to hands and knees. Reset. And then from here, we get to do that spinal balance on the other side. So left leg out. Flex the foot, make the leg nice and strong, lift it up as high as you can without opening the hip. And then right arm out in front. Couple of breaths here. Feeling solid, feeling strong, checking to see if you're arching the back a whole lot. Bring that lower ribs and the pelvis a little closer together. And as always, if this feels wobbly, you can keep both hands on the mat. Take one more breath. And then we'll take both hands down, tuck those right toes up and under, and take this up into 3-legged dog. So from here, doing your best to keep the hips level. And then we'll move into that core plank movement. So on your exhale, round the back knee in towards the nose as you shift forward. Inhale, take it back up. On your exhale, take that knee towards the outside of your left elbow. Inhale it up. And then from here, take it forward to the opposite elbow underneath you. Inhale it up. And then exhale, take that foot up to your hands. Come into our lunge. Finding your balance, knee can be down. And then from here, taking that little side bend. So dropping the left arm, reaching a little higher with the right. If you want a little bit deeper stretch, you can grab the wrist with the hand. A couple of breaths. And then go ahead and release. Take the hands down. Coming back into our lunge. We're going to slide this left foot back. You can stay lifted for more challenge, or you can drop it down. On your exhale, we'll lower all the way down. Untuck the toes. And inhale, roll the shoulders back, lift the heart. This time on your exhale, we're going to press ourselves all the way back to downward facing dog. All right, so from here in our downward facing dog, on your next inhale, you'll firm through the core, press down with the hands and the left foot. We're going to lift the right leg up, three-legged dog. On your exhale, take it forward, knee in towards the nose, core plank. Try to get that knee as high as you can here. And then inhale, take it back up. And then exhale, see if you can take it outside that right elbow. Inhale it up. On your exhale, take that knee now across the body, opposite elbow. Inhale it up. On your exhale, you can take this foot forward now into your lunge once again. And we're going to lengthen through the spine, press out through the back heel. Do our best here. And if the floor feels far away and you have a block, you could put a block under your left hand. We're just going to take a little bit of a twist here. So right arm up to the sky, trying to hug those inner thighs towards the midline. Couple of breaths. And then from here, we're going to get really, really light on our left hand. We're going to engage through the legs. Sweep the right hand behind us. Lift the left hand up, and then we're going to spin this all the way open into warrior two. Nice. All right. So take a moment, find your warrior two. Front knee over the ankle. We want some openness here in the hips. If this feels tweaky for the back leg, you can step that left foot a little closer to that edge of your mat, kind of closing down this ankle a little bit. You can also adjust your stance front to back. But we want this front knee over the ankle. We want it almost opening out towards your pinky toe. A tendency sometimes, especially with tight hips, is for this knee to kind of collapse inward. So we want this part to be nicely aligned. On your next inhale, let's reverse our warrior. So flip the front palm, reach forward a little bit, take that hand up. Keep bending into this front knee. Sometimes we reach up and we begin to straighten the front leg. We're going to do that in a moment, but not quite yet. So this back hand can go down your back leg or behind your back. We'll take another breath here. All right, so from here, begin to straighten the front leg. And we'll take this into triangle pose. So we're going to take the arms front to back, reach forward with that right hand, and then take that right hand down. And it can come to the shin. If you've got that block, you can put it on the block. If you have the mobility, the hand can come all the way to the floor. So from here, with this left hand, we're going to take this into extended triangle. So flipping that palm face down and reaching that hand towards the front of your mat. Be strong through the legs here, and if it's available, we're going to take this right hand and reach it out as well. So it takes a lot of strength in the legs, strength in the core. Take one more breath here. And then we're going to begin to rotate this. We're going to turn the torso. We're going to spin up the back heel and bend that knee. So now we're in this leaning lunge, and it's okay if your transition is not pretty. It's the effort, right? It's the practice. So we're going to take another breath here. And then on your next inhale, we're going to shift this forward. We're going to lift up the back leg, taking this into warrior three. If that feels like too much, you can take the hands to the mat for a little three-pointed balance. But wherever you are here, we're going to work on keeping our balance, keeping those hips level as much as we can, strong through the core, long spine. All right. I know, it's everybody's favorite. Take one more breath here. And then as the hands aren't on the floor, we're going to bend the knees, take the hands down, lower this leg back to the floor. And we're going to walk ourselves quarter turn to the left, towards the long side of your mat, wide-legged forward bend. And just take a moment here. Nod your head yes, shake it no. And then we're going to start to take a little side lunge. So the toes turn out kind of towards the corners of your mat. And we'll start with a side lunge to the right. So bend the right knee, take the hands over, and the hips can stay high here. Or if you have the mobility, maybe sinking those hips way down, lifting up the left toes, coming into Skandasana. Now this can be maybe a little bit forward if the heel is up, or the heel can be down, or the hips can stay high. Just getting a little bit into our inner thighs, a little bit into hip mobility here, which will come in handy later. So from here, I'm going to go ahead and walk back through center, and then take this over to the other side. So toes turn out, left knee bends. Hips can stay high, hands for support, or we can sink the hips, coming into Skandasana. So take a couple more breaths wherever you are. And then from here, go ahead and shift forward so we can turn ourselves another quarter turn to the left towards the other end of the mat, coming into our lunge. Now from here, we're going to step it back, plank pose. Nice deep breath here. On your next exhale, you can lower all the way to the mat, or this time maybe chaturanga. Shift forward slightly, bend the elbows, come halfway down. On your inhale, it could be that low cobra or upward facing dog. So up dog, hips and knees are up off of the mat, shoulders over the wrists. Nice deep back bend here. And then on your exhale, downward facing dog. So just take a couple of breaths here. Feeling into the hands, feeling into the feet. Noticing how you're showing up right now. Is this a no, as in, this is hard, I can't do it, I can't wait for it to be over? Or is this a yes, I'm getting stronger. I'm curious about what I can do. All right, so one more deep breath here. And then from here on your next inhale, left leg lifts, three-legged dog. On your exhale, core plank, bring it forward, knee to nose. Inhale, take it all the way up. And exhale, take it outside that left elbow, as high as you can get. Inhale it up. And exhale, take it across the body underneath you, opposite elbow. Inhale all the way up. And exhale, take that foot forward, come into your lunge, long spine. Might have to come up onto your fingertips or maybe your block. Nice deep breath here. And then on your exhale, it's that twist. So left hand to the sky, right hand to a block or to your mat. Couple of breaths. Long through the spine, trying to be broad through the collarbones. Thinking about this arm, this left arm, and just as an extension of your heart. Inner thighs toward midline. And then from here on your next inhale, we're going to sweep that left hand back. Get really light on the right hand. Sweep it all the way up and unwind into your warrior two. All right, so relax the shoulders, reach out through the fingertips. Couple of breaths. Feeling free to adjust this stance however you need to. But just making sure that this front leg, knee are nice and stable. All right. From here on your next inhale, flip that right hand, palm up, reach forward a little bit, take it up to the sky, little reverse warrior, back hand down your back leg or behind your back. All right, and then from here, straighten that front leg. We're gonna take this into triangle. So arms reach out front to back. We're going to begin to reach forward with this left hand and then take it down to wherever you can reach, and it might be different on this side. Right hand to the sky, left hand can come to your shin, inside of the leg, a block if you have it. But once again, trying to be broad through the collarbones here. We're going to be strong through our legs. We're going to take this right hand, reach it overhead, extended triangle, so more of a side stretch. And then from here, engaging through the core, see if we can float that left hand up to meet the right. This is not easy, so if you need to keep the hand down, keep the hand down. We'll take another breath or two. Press it into the legs, and then we're going to rotate the torso. We're going to bend into the left knee, lift up the back heel, leaning lunge here. And then from here, on your next inhale, warrior three. So shift forward, lift up the back leg, the arms can reach out. You can be in heart center, or we can always take that three-pointed balance option. But we want that level hips, long spine wherever you are. If you don't have blocks and you're taking this three-pointed balance, make sure you bend that left knee a little bit. All right, another breath or two. And then from here, go ahead and lower that back leg down. Quarter turn to the right, wide-legged forward bend. Couple of deep breaths here. And then take a little side bend now, side lunge to the left. So hips high or low. Hands on the mat or hands at heart center. And if you're in this full skandasana, make sure this leg is still active. It's not just kind of hanging out there. So maybe press down with that heel. And then go ahead and go back through center. And then over to the other side. From here, go ahead and take yourself another quarter turn to the right, back towards this end of the mat, into your lunge. On your next inhale, take that leg out behind you. Maybe keep it lifted if you want that more of a challenge. And on your next exhale, we're going to lower down. Maybe it's halfway for chaturanga, or all the way to the mat. Inhale, up dog or low cobra. And on our exhale, downward facing dog. Pausing here. Taking a breath. Feeling into the hands, feeling into the feet. And then from here, we're going to, you can take the feet a little bit wider here in your down dog. We're going to bend the knees. Keep the hips high as you can. Just kind of bringing the thighs a little closer to the chest. Then we're going to look up towards our hands, and we're just going to do a couple of little hops here. We're going to bend the knees and just hop. And reset. And then hop. Reset. Your hops might be just little ones. They might be high. Maybe if you have a handstand in your practice, you could kick all the way up into handstand. But just try to get a little bit air. Then eventually we're going to hop. We're going to take our feet all the way up to the front of the mat. Coming into kind of this frog position or malasana. So however you get to the front of your mat. And it, like I said, it doesn't have to be pretty. We're going to come into this malasana. So coming into our squat. So if you have the mobility in the ankles, the knees, and the hips, feet are flat, toes can be out slightly. If you're still working with some mobility issues, you can stay higher here. You can come up onto the balls of your feet. Whatever you need to do. Just getting a little bit into the hips here. So if we have our squat and it's feeling good, you can stay here. You can maybe shift it a little bit side to side. Or you can begin to take crow pose. So if you're familiar with crow, hop right into it. If you're not familiar, we're going to take the feet wide. Hands to the mat, shoulder width apart. We'll lift the hips up. And we're going to scrunch up as small as we can. So the knees are as high up on the arms as we can, and the shins are resting on the backs of the arms. I'm just going to shift weight forward into the hands. And then maybe we lift one foot up. Maybe we lift the other foot up. Maybe we begin to shift the weight forward into the hands, engage through the core, press into the mat. Lift both feet up. Now, crow is something that takes practice. So decide if you're showing up with a yes. It's yes, I'm going to learn, I'm going to practice. Or a no, no, I can't ever do that. You don't know until you try. So play around with crow, play around with your malasana, or maybe just shifting that weight back and forth. And then we're going to meet in child's pose. So taking the knees wide, shifting the hips back, arms reach out long. And we'll just take a couple of breaths here. Letting things settle, letting some of that energy settle. And then from here in your child's pose, go ahead and walk both hands over to the right. So hips still reaching back, arms reach over to the right, get a little side stretch down that left side of the body. And then from here, walk it over to the other side. A little stretch on the right side. And you can experiment here with lifting the shoulder up or rotating it down. A couple of deep breaths. And then from here, walking yourself back to center. We're going to shift forward and lower all the way down onto our stomachs. So just take a moment. You can fold the arms. You can bend the knees, windshield wiper the feet. And then from here, go ahead and release. We're going to do, we just did a bunch of core work and kind of engaging of the front body. So first we're going to take just a low cobra. So hands underneath the shoulders. On your inhale, lift yourself up. Elbows in, reach the heart forward and release. Now from here, we're going to press ourselves up. If it feels okay for the back to do a higher cobra, that's what we're going to do. So rolling the shoulders back, pressing yourself up a little bit higher, and not thinking about just crunching into your low back, but more reaching the heart forward, almost like you're dragging your hands back towards your feet. And then go ahead and release. So from here, you can take your left arm out in front. We're going to bend the right knee. So you have a little pillow for the head. Then the right hand is going to reach back. We're going to grab the top of that right foot, coming into a little quad stretch here. So a couple of breaths. Heel towards the sitting bones. And then from here, we're going to take this into half bow. So you're going to begin to kick this foot into your hand. Squeeze the glutes. Maybe that knee lifts up off of the floor. And maybe the chest lifts a little bit as well. Get a little stretch in the front of the shoulder. So a couple of breaths. Half back bend here. Take one more deep breath. And then go ahead and release. Bring that down. Windshield wiper your feet if it feels good. And then from here, go ahead and release. We're going to shift to the other side. So make that little pillow with the right arm. You're gonna reach the left hand back, bend the left knee, grab that foot. Just take a couple of breaths here. And then from here, go ahead and kick that foot into your hand. Squeeze that left glute. Lift the knee up off of the floor if it's available. Maybe that left shoulder as well. Couple of breaths. All right. Go ahead and release. Bring the hands down underneath the shoulders. Windshield wiper the feet maybe one more time. Then we're going to press ourselves up and back. Child's pose for just a moment. Stretch out the low back. And then from here, go ahead and come to a seat. So I'm going to just sit so I can face you guys. I'm going to come into a little bit of a twist. So starting with the feet out in front and the knees bent, we're going to take the left foot and see if we can bring it down and around to the outside of the right hip. Now, depending on your hips, it might help you to have the hips elevated on your block or a blanket or a pillow. And if this feels like too much for the knee, you can always keep the legs straight. So what we're going to do is take that foot out towards the outside of the right hip. This right knee, depending on your body, right foot is either going to stay on the inside of this left knee, or we're going to cross it over. Now, if you cross it over, but you're all kind of off kilter and off balance, just go ahead and bring it back. We're just doing a spinal twist. So what it looks like is not as important as how it feels in your body. You want to feel stable and grounded here. So we're going to take the left arm up. On your exhale, we're going to twist to the right, and you get to choose. You can grab this right knee with your hand. You can tuck it into your elbow, or if it's available, you can tuck that elbow on the outside of the knee. Maybe take the gaze behind you if that feels okay for the neck. Just take a breath or two here. All right, go ahead and release. Come back around. And if you've got this right foot tucked over the left knee, we're going to continue to work it around so that it is more outside the left hip. So we're coming to these Gomukhasana legs. Now, if this doesn't work for you and your body, you can come to just a cross-legged position. But this is a little bit more of a hip opener here. Trying to stack the knees as close as you can get them. We're going to sit up nice and tall. And then we're just going to hinge from the hips and lean forward. So walk the hands forward over. So you're leaning over the legs. And just take a couple of breaths. From here, go ahead and walk yourself all the way back up. And now we're going to move into Gomukhasana arms. So we're going to take the right arm up. You're going to bend that elbow, give yourself a little pat on the back, doing your best to kind of wrap the shoulder around and draw the elbow up towards the sky. And then this left hand slides behind your back. And maybe the fingertips kind of work their way towards one another. Maybe you can clasp fingers, maybe not. If you have a strap or something that you can hold on to, you could use that as a prop here, or you can just simply reach in this direction. There's nothing that says that you have to clasp hands. So take a breath or two here, doing your best to sit up nice and tall. No engagement in the legs, maybe flex the feet just a tiny bit. And then from here, go ahead and release, unfold the legs. And we're going to switch and move in the opposite direction. We'll start with that twist. So right foot on the bottom now on the outside of this left hip. Left foot on the inside or the outside. And it might feel different on this side. You might choose a different shape here. So from here, go ahead and take that right arm up. Nice deep breath, and then take it around into your twist. So once again, hand on the knee, tucked into the elbow, or you can tuck the elbow on the outside. So a couple of breaths. And then from here, go ahead and come back to center. See if you can walk that left foot around to the right, stacking the knees as best you can or coming into that cross-legged seat. And just a couple of breaths here, walking the hands forward, leaning over the legs. And then when you're ready, we're going to begin to come all the way back up into those Gomukhasana arms. Left arm reaches up, left elbow bends, give yourself that little pat on the back, rolling this shoulder blade kind of around the ribcage and reach up through the elbow. Doing your best to sit up nice and tall here. Sometimes if we have some mobility issues in the shoulder, this tends to round a little bit forward. So just do your best. Right hand behind your back, reaching up in the direction of those other fingertips, but they don't have to get anywhere close. And it might feel different on this side than it does on the other side. A couple of breaths. All right. From here, go ahead and release. Relax out through the shoulders, maybe move the neck a little bit, unfold the legs. And we're simply going to make our way all the way down onto our backs. Coming all the way down. Getting ready for Shavasana, but you can take the next couple of moments to do any other pose or stretch that might feel good. So that could be knees in towards the chest, maybe it's a happy baby, maybe it's a spinal twist, or maybe just begin to get ready for Shavasana. Maybe put on a layer or make yourself comfortable. If you have a blanket or a pillow, you can put it underneath the knees. We're just going to relax the arms down by our side. And just begin to soften. Begin to let go of the effort that you put forth in class. And then as we rest here, before we let go of all the thoughts, you decide what else you can show up as a yes for in your life. Softening the face, relaxing the shoulders. And the beauty of a home practice is that you can stay in Shavasana as long as you'd like. I will end class by simply saying thank you for sharing your energy and your practice today. I hope you have a wonderful day. Namaste.